got that knife?
Yeah, I got a knife right here from the kitchen sink.
That knife was used for murder.
What?
Well, let me tell you about this knife. This knife is used in a murder. Our Navy's best.
Elmo!
Fred, did you call me? Fred! Fred, what's all this about the rent being late? What's with the landlord, Elmo?
I don't know. He gets this thing about knives and other hard, direct, pointed objects, things like that.
Hard, direct, pointed objects?
Yeah.
What's that? He's just sitting there. So tell us about the knife.
Yeah. Tell us about that knife.
Mr. Kidley?
This knife. Yeah.
Our knife, Mr. Kidley.
Knife, not this
You
knife.
want to know about this knife?
Yeah, that knife.
Well, boys, I'll tell you about this knife. This knife, if I remember right, let me see, I think it was somewhere back in the 70s. I think it was, oh, I remember now, 1974, on a ship, stationed here, and I was on it, and I remember this knife, yeah, it was in a killing. I remember now, this knife was in a killing. Someone died at the point of this knife. Yeah, that's where I remember this knife.
Well, who did it?
I don't know who did it.
I'll bet you I can find out who did it for you.
Did they ever find any killer? No, I don't recollect they did. Not that I know of. Well, why is this knife here?
Because I picked it out of the kitchen sink. We took it in the living room. Sorry.
Well, we could find out. How can we find out?
Yeah. How can we find out?
No, we could trace it back.
Well, let's see.
Wait a minute. I remember.
Yeah, I remember it too. I picked it out of the kitchen sink.
You shaved my mustache off with it, too.
Okay.
After I told you not to. But I remember reading in a newspaper somewhere. Oh, here. This is January's coupon. I remember reading in a newspaper where they actually... Hold on, just a second.
Newspaper. You about to find a newspaper? Hey, I found the newspaper. My nose always knows.
See? Look it. Look at Elmo, what he's talking about. 20 years ago, see right here.
Where?
20 years ago on board the ship, there was 2 people killed. One was killed with a knife, and the other one had his neck broke. And they found somebody with the butcher knife, and he electrocuted himself on the grill. We got a murderer!